everybody. It's Mickela Malazzi with Bare Feet. Thank you for being here. We haven't done a live in quite a while. I hope the internet is good. I'm in a new space right now, but I have some really wonderful special guests tonight, and we are going to be talking about travel, right? I mean, the world is opening up. We are dancing. I'm currently in production for our season 5 of our show. But what I'm so excited, starting tomorrow too, is a marathon on Create TV of our global dance parties around the world. But today we're going to talk about how you guys can come and travel with me and dance with me in a very special place that is very near and dear to my heart and is one of my favorite places in the world, not only to just visit, but to dance, to make new friends, to eat, to go hiking. You're going to hear all about this, but we have our Bare Feet tours that we are launching for travel in 2022. We are so excited. And today we're going to talk about Bare Feet tours, how you can book with us, how you can travel with me, give you some inspiration in the meantime of booking the trip, but also ideas of how you can travel safely for the new year, because travel is opening up internationally, especially for Americans. So before we start things off, I want to just share, and I'm going to do something. I'm going to try and move closer to the Wi-Fi because I just want to make sure that the Wi-Fi is very strong. So as I play this video, this is just a little teaser. If any of you have seen our Bare Feet episodes in Ireland, it's such a beautiful country. We've done 2 episodes so far, and I'm sure we're going to go back. We have a little teaser of what you're going to find when you come on our Bare Feet tour. And this is just one little bit of that. Hold on one second. Here we go. Welcome to Ireland. I'm so excited to dig deeper into my own Celtic roots right here in the Emerald Isle.
I think it's nearly every Irish dancer's dream to be in Riverdance.
Dancers of all ages come in from all over Ireland. It's become their life as opposed to just a hobby.
It all started here in O'Connor's pub. That was the life and soul of the people. The most famous pub in the world for Irish music.
Everybody finds love in this
Oh, that's great.
So many matches are made by fellas just walking up to girls and say, "Will you marry me?"
I get my first taste of the beautiful and friendly Irish culture. I can't wait for you to join me on our next adventure from the breathtaking Emerald Isle.
Hello, everyone. Looks like we're having a little bit of technical difficulties. I guess I'll introduce myself. It looks like Mickela is having a little bit of trouble with her camera. I'm new to everybody here, so I'll introduce myself. I am the Director of Strategic Partnerships for Exclusive Vacations here at AAA. We are the ones that have partnered with Mickela to put together her trips to Ireland. And I was welcome onto the stage because we are working so close with Mickela, and I feel as though our timing for these tours really couldn't be any better timed. We are on the brink of something here at AAA as we start to see the momentum building. Travel now is starting to reawaken. You'll hear from one of our travel agents later in the talk today who will be your travel agent for this amazing trip. We're already receiving bookings for this trip, so it's already starting to show that we are seeing a recovery in the travel world. And a lot of people that we talk to mentioned to us that, when is the time to start planning my trips? When is the right time? Is it safe to start traveling? And we get those questions a lot. And kind of what we say to every traveler out there is it's always a personal decision. But we can tell travelers that every day it's getting a little bit better. It looks like Mickela is trying to join us now. But what we do try to tell our travelers is every day does get a little bit better. It gets a little bit easier. The borders are opening up. And we're excited to be partnering with you, Mickela. Can you hear me?
Can you guys hear me?
We can hear you. Yes, we can.
Okay. Sorry, guys. Hold on. Well, this is what happens when you're live, right? Everything.
What happens?
There you
are.
go. There we go. There we go. Oh my! I had to switch rooms. Sorry, everybody.
No worries at all.
I'm back. Everybody, this is Michael Ziegler from AAA Exclusive Vacations, who we are partnering with. I am so glad I jumped back on. I think it is a much better connection here. And Michael, thank you so much for going off the cuff. I love it. I love it. This is what going live is. This is like, we're doing it live, right? We're just doing
it live. Yeah.
So Michael, thank you for that introduction. And I so appreciate that. You said travel is opening up. What does that mean? What does that mean for travelers in general?
Yeah, that's a great question. So over the last year, it's been, as you can imagine, for the travel industry, it's been a very tough year for the travel industry. Right. But as the vaccinations have started to spread across the world, and here in the United States, more and more people are getting vaccinated by the day, borders are starting to loosen up. They're starting to allow travelers to travel across the globe again. We're still seeing very strong travel trends domestically in these coming summer months. And into the early fall, but we're also starting to see very strong travel trends gearing towards international travel towards the end of this year, but also gearing towards the beginning of 2022. And as I was saying, as you're trying to fix your camera, I don't know if you heard me or not. But
I heard all of it. I loved it.
Yeah. So the timing of these trips are perfect because now is the time that we're really starting to see the international travel trends starting to grow. People are calling our agents. Jennifer, who we will be hearing from later tonight, is actually starting, her phone is ringing off the hook again. We're really starting to get busy, which is really exciting and perfect timing for this event and for your trips coming up, in the near future.
It is. And I'm so glad, we have a whole bunch of wonderful people that are going to be joining us tonight to give a little insight. There is trepidation, or there has been trepidation for the past year and a half. We haven't been able to travel, but everybody wants to. They want to get back out in the world. And this is why we're hosting this tonight, is to talk to everyone very transparently about what's happening in travel, talking about what's happening in travel to Ireland specifically, and then especially why I'm partnering with AAA Exclusive Vacations, why we're offering this beautiful tour. We have done bare feet tours in the past, which have been magical. We've done Tango in Buenos Aires, we've done Dance in Bali, and to kick off this new partnership, I chose Ireland because it honestly is one of my favorite places in the world. Dance and music is so integrated into the culture, so organically everywhere you go. It's just so welcoming and warm, and the music is infectious. The people are warm. The food is incredible. Everybody sort of like never thinks of Ireland for food, but we are going to be hearing from an award-winning chef tonight who will be giving us a walking food tour throughout in Dingle. So Michael, thank you for being here. Thank you for partnering with us. We're super excited. As a reminder for anybody on here throughout this entire live session tonight, if you have any questions, please put them in the comments. Also, if you are interested in what this tour will look like, we're going to go through it more. Just go to travelbarefeet.com under Bare Feet Tours. You can see sort of a breakdown of some of the exciting experiences that we're going to have. And I will be there. So if you want to travel with me, this is your opportunity to dance with me. You see how much fun I have on a trip. I want this to be as accessible to everybody else. It can't just be me having the best time in the world. This is why we're starting the Bare Feet Tour. So, So Michael, we're going to have you back in a little bit, but we're going to bring on another guest. So thank you. Is there anything else you want to add before we say?
I would just say to anybody who's considering this trip, I've been to Ireland once, and being in the travel industry for over 10 years, I have seen a lot of the world. And Ireland was probably one of only 2 destinations that as I left it, I was saying, I'm coming back, because there is so much that it offers. And so anybody considering who's ever been to Ireland, go back if you haven't been. It's just one of those countries that's so welcoming and so warm and so rich in culture. And I mean, this dancing aspect is going to make, it even better. So absolutely, if you're considering it, definitely join Mickela and AAA as they take you throughout Ireland. But this is going to be a great night. I look forward to tuning in all night and joining at the end for some question and answers. So thank you so much for having me.
Thank you, Michael. And it's true. It is so true. I love that Michael said when on his way out of Ireland, he was saying, I'm going to come back. I've been 7 times, and I plan to go back more and more and more, not just with this Bare Feet tour, but over and over and over again. So, if you are interested in finding out more about the Bare Feet tour, go to travelbarefeet.com under Bare Feet Tours. We have 2 tours coming up, one in May of 2022 and one of October of 2022. They're filling up very quickly. We're going to talk in more detail about those tours in a little bit. But before we do, I want to bring on another special guest. We have Allison Metcalf, who is the Executive Vice President of Tourism Ireland, and she is here with us. Thank you so much for being here, Allison.
Well, thank you, Mickela. I'm just absolutely thrilled to be here, and just looking at the itinerary, I think I might join you on this tour. You're making me feel homesick. It's fantastic. It looks tremendous, and I'm not much of a dancer, but maybe I'll improve if I come along on the tour with you. But anyway.
And that's the thing, you don't have to be a we get this question all the time of, do I have to be a professional dancer? But as you know, being Irish, anybody can get up at a trad session or enjoy the music, or at a ceilidh, or any sort of experience. The people are so welcoming and warm that you won't feel like a stranger, and you won't feel shut out. It's just this very open and accessible way of accessing the culture, I think.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, and I think I can't think of a better way to experience Ireland's rich culture than through, music and dance. And you mentioned the food, and I think that's really interesting for people to hear, because, we as the destination marketing organization, we ask people what their expectations are of Ireland before they plan a trip. And they have pretty high expectations around culture and all these great immersive experiences. When you ask them about food, they think, it'll be average. They come back blown away. So when I look at the itinerary, you've got some, incredible, you've got the food tours, you're going outdoor, you've got cycling and biking as well as the dance. So I can't think of any better way than to explore through that music and culture, and all the while enjoying this magnificent outdoors and tremendous scenery. So we're really looking forward to welcoming Americans back. As you said earlier, everyone's been hunkered down for such a long time. We're all ready to go. And Ireland is really looking forward to rolling out the green mat and green carpet for everybody. 100,000 welcomes is waiting for everybody. The welcome will be bigger and better than before. I promise you that. And we get ready to looking forward to welcoming visitors back, international visitors from July the 19th, without, vaccination, without quarantining and all of that good stuff. But by the time the tours roll around, certainly for next year, we'll be back in full swing. But things are right now getting back to normal as hospitality has opened over the last few weeks.
That's fantastic news. Yeah, we really decided we were originally going to have a trip the end of this year, but we thought, you know what, let's give everybody enough time to feel comfortable, but also because these experiences are about dance classes and really getting it's a small group tour, it's 15 people. So we want that intimacy. And in order to have the full experience, we thought, let's give everyone enough time to feel comfortable for the country to fully open up, which I'm so glad it is starting this summer. It is just a joy to hear that. We've been in touch with all the partners back in Ireland of everyone we want to dance with and eat with and stay at their hotels, and everyone's just chomping at the bit of like, we want you to come, but we know that there are protocols to go through. So by next May, we're set, and by next October, definitely everything is underway. So what does that mean for Americans coming into Ireland if they want to come sooner than our trip? What does that look like for them?
Yeah, so right now, I mean, things are in a pretty good position. Like much of Europe, we're opening up on July 19th for international visitors, and that will also, we hope, include Americans as well. So if you're fully vaccinated from the 19th, again, some of the details still being worked out, you'll be able to travel without any quarantine or anything like that. So things are really, gearing up. And I think what's really exciting about this, that during the lockdown and during the pandemic, a lot of the tourism providers have really been working hard at creating new experiences and new authentic experiences, whether it's food and dance and music and culture, and really fine-tuning what the very best of what Ireland has to offer. So from the 19th, you should be able to travel as demand comes back. And I think, as Michael said earlier, people are traveling more domestically. Consumers are building confidence about traveling again. You will see more direct flights coming back from the US to Ireland. And I think it's important to remember too that if you're coming from the East Coast, you're coming from New York, you can be over there in 5.5 hours. I mean,
it's a quick flight. It is.
It's quicker than going to LA or the West Coast, and a world apart, you know.
Yep.
So sometimes we forget that. And I think if you're listening tonight, just think about that. It's a short hop. And once you're there, it's just a magical experience, as you know.
It is. It's a much shorter trip than you think over. And coming back. And it's just when you get there, you're rejuvenated by the lush green rolling hill. I mean, it's a dream. It's a dream. I love Ireland. I'm not just saying that. Like, I love Ireland so much. That's why we're doing this tour. That's why we're doing this Bare Feet tour. For anyone who's seen our episodes on PBS, you see a smile on my face the entire episode. And that's because it is just so beautiful. And again, the people are so hospitable and warm. And the culture is so wonderful, and the storytelling and the food. And I mean, we could just go on and on and on and on. It's just a wonderful place.
As we say in Ireland, it's all about the crack, and that's the Gaelic word, CRAIC, fun and hospitality. And, you know, we make those best connections when we travel. And certainly in Ireland, I mean, it is all about the hospitality and having that social dimension, whether it's through a trad session, an informal session. I see you're going to Doolin on the tour, which is amazing, the home of traditional music. So it's just the opportunity to really engage with the locals. And I think doing it as part of a small tour, you're really able to sort of get under the skin of things. And Ireland lends itself so well to that. You know, nowhere is very far. Wherever you are, people know each other. You want to do something a little bit different, you have a special request, it can be done. It's easy to do. We really do aim to please, I suppose. And hospitality, I think it's in our DNA. You know, I really do think it is. And we just love welcoming visitors.
It is. It is. The first time I went to Killarney, I found out, I think Killarney was the first sort of tourism town, right, in Ireland ever?
Yes. Well, it's the heart of tourism. It really, that's right, absolutely. And I suppose from there, I mean, tourism is such an important part of the economy in terms of the rural economy, but in terms of the people involved in tourism, I mean, in terms of jobs is huge. I mean, the economic impact that tourism makes. So I think people, you know, again, when they travel generally, but when they travel to Ireland, they can feel that they are doing good, they're giving back. I mean, they are, and I think we've, you know, the commitment to sustainability and to developing some of those unique rural tourism experiences that actually that leave a positive footprint behind, I think is really important for people. And I think that's grown. It was a trend that was there pre-pandemic, and I think it's all the pandemic has done is, you know, accelerate some of those trends.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's what we're so proud of for our Bare Feet tours, that they're small, they're intimate, they're small. You can really, you don't feel like you're in a you're like herding cats, right? It's really, instead, it's a wonderful, warm group of people that become family. Every trip we've ever done, it's people, friendships have lasted for years. But you get to really experience a place instead of as a giant group where you're just wrangling them in. Whoever we meet will get to know you personally. And that I think is very important to me. And also I know that it's important. I want people to have that experience when traveling, because that's what travel is to make those connections.
Absolutely. And I think that's what we've missed, obviously, as we've all been hunkered down on Zoom. And the beauty of this tour is that you have handpicked where you're going, you know your host, your guide, the dancers. And I think if you're traveling on a small group like this, you get so much more out of that trip. And I know when you come back, you'll just want to share, everybody want to share that experience with their friends. So I think we're going to be operating more than 2 tours next year, Mickela. I think there's going to be huge excitement around this tour. It's so unique. I would encourage everybody, take a look at the itinerary. It's fantastic. You're starting in Dublin and you end up on the West Coast along that wonderful wild Atlantic Way, which can be wild some days. You can get all 4 seasons in one day, but that's the beauty of it. Yeah,
we did in one of our shoots. We did. And as Allison said, if you go to travelbarefeet.com under Bare Feet Tours, you can see a rundown of the dates of some of the experiences. And we're going to go into a little more detail of what we're going to be doing. But Allison, thank you so much for being here. She's not going far because she is going to be here back at the end to answer any questions. But Allison, thank you again so much. And we're so glad Ireland is opening up again.
Absolutely. Thank you very much.
Thank you. So everybody on here, thank you again. Again, I'm Mickela Malazzi. If you're just tuning in, we are here live talking about our upcoming Bare Feet tours to Ireland, one of my favorite countries in the world. We are partnering with AAA Exclusive Vacations to offer our new Bare Feet tours. And Bare Feet tours are about traveling the world through the lens of dance and music with me. Like, I get to do that on my show. But if you guys want to come and travel with me, I get messages all the time. Mickela, can I travel with you? How do we do this? This is your opportunity. If you go to travelbarefeet.com, we are going to bring up some more guests, but this is an evening to talk about what the Bare Feet Tours are about. If you have any questions at all, put them in the comments below, either on YouTube or Facebook. We will answer them live towards the end of this live. But we have a few more guests to talk through, but I'm so excited because these are small group tours, which means it's very limited space. I'm not just saying that we only have 15 spots and they're already filling up, but we're just excited. Tonight, we really wanted to talk about travel opening up for the world. We're all so excited. There's so much anticipation. And here we have something that is so beautiful. And I think it really speaks to the shift or the excitement for really having more authentic travel experiences, more meaningful travel experiences, especially after a time when we couldn't travel. And Bare Feet has always been about that. Our Bare Feet Tours that's always been our mission. And so we're just excited that we're here to offer that for you. Now, before I bring on my next guest, we are going to see another snippet of a little taste of what our Bare Feet Tours will bring. And in these videos, we did a couple interviews with some special people, and they are in Ireland right now. But let me play you this one video. And if you've seen our Ireland episodes on PBS, this may look familiar, but this is one of my favorite episodes because there's some of my favorite people in the world. So take a look.
Fáilte, Ireland. As I continue to dig deeper into my Celtic roots, I head to the rugged and beautiful Wild Atlantic Way.
Shanos, it's what our grandmothers and grandfathers did. Very, very free. You don't need a partner. It's all about beats and rhythms.
Everything's local.
It's Irish food.
Yes.
That's what it's all about.
Yes. Holy cow.
We really enjoy it because what we're doing mostly is playing lively dance music.
This is your life. This is incredible.
Yeah, I love it. I wouldn't think of doing anything else.
Knowing that some of my own DNA comes from Ireland makes me feel even more connected to this beautiful and welcoming place. Thank you to the incredible people of County Kerry and its Wild Atlantic Way.
What I love about that clip so much is you get to meet so many wonderful characters and beautiful people that I got to dance with, I got to taste food with. And on our Bare Feet Tours, you're going to meet those same wonderful people who some of whom I met on my very first trip to Ireland, some who I met on the last trip I made to Ireland, but all of them are real friendships that have grown over the years. And what I'm excited to do is to introduce you to them personally. You've seen them on our show, introduce you to them personally. We're going to get to dance with them, eat with them, make food with them. And this is really, and break bread with them, right? This is really such a special way, but these are truly part of the Bare Feet family, and they will be in our Bare Feet Tours. So for our first, I did these pre-recorded because it is late right now in Ireland. So it would have been a little too late to have these folks join us live, but it's pre-recorded interviews. And our first interviewee is a wonderful, wonderful dear friend. You saw her briefly in the video talking about Shanos, which means old style of dance. Her name is Emory Nelligan. She is one of my oldest friends from going to Ireland. She taught me how to do the brush dance, I think about 8 years ago when I first went. I fell in love with her. Her energy is infectious. She's an incredible dancer. She's a patient teacher. She's kind. She's the mayor of Killarney. She's one of my favorite people. And so I want to share with you this beautiful interview that we did together to talk about what we're going to be doing together in Killarney with Anne-Marie. This is Anne-Marie Nelligan. She is with Torque Traditional Dancers, in Killarney, Ireland. And what we want to do is just introduce our potential travelers who want to come on this Bare Feet Tour with us to you, because we love you so much. We're going to be dancing with you in Killarney. We're going to meet with you. And that's the point of the Bare Feet Tours is I've made friends by dancing with strangers. At some point, you and I were strangers, but we danced together, and that's how we built our friendship. And I want to bring these Bare Feet travelers with me on that experience of these are actually, they've become my friends. These people have become my friends because of dance. So I'm super excited. Tell us who you are. I know I kind of gave an overview, but tell us who you are.
That's okay.
Tell us who you are. You're a phenomenal dancer, but tell us who you are. You're like the mayor of Killarney, basically.
I am not. Okay, so my name is Emory Nelligan. I am born and reared in Killarney, County Kerry in the southwest of Ireland. I am fairly well known only because from the age of like 7 or 8, I have been dancing for tourists, visitors, weddings, parties, any excuse. My parents got me out on the dance floor to dance. So it was only a natural progression that I would do it as a career also. So like you said earlier on, I have my own dance company and the Turkish Traditional Irish Dance Group. We perform locally and internationally for festivals also. So we just dance, we just try and share our culture. We leave the glitz and glam away. That's for the stage. What you see with us is just we're very authentic. We could be dancing in a kitchen or in a bar, and what you see is what you get. So that's kind of what we're at. We kind of do both sean-nós, which means old style, with Irish traditional dancing. So we do a mixture of both styles. So that's kind of what makes us a bit unique.
Yeah. And you're tuning in right now from Killarney. We're doing this interview a little earlier because if we did it live, it would be way too late for Anne-Marie. Well, it might not be too late for me, but I think it would.
No, since we're in the middle of COVID, my bedtime is lovely and early.
Oh, good. Wonderful. Yeah. So I love that you said, it's not the glitz and glam, because we are getting this spectrum of dance, traditional dance, all styles of dance and music. But tell us a little bit about Killarney, what our travelers can expect, because
so Killarney.
Tell us about Killarney, because what I love about creating our Bare Feet tour to Ireland is music and dance are part of the culture. It's not forced. It's not like something put on. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, Killarney itself is extremely, extremely scenic. It is. I know I might be a little bit biased, but even if you speak to people that aren't from Kerry, they will also agree with me. Killarney is surrounded by stunning lakes, mountains, and a national park. So not only will you have dance, but you will have amazing scenery. And it doesn't matter if it's raining, because the scenery is absolutely spectacular all year round. So Killarney, we're very, very lucky within Killarney, because it's just amazing with the views, the hikes, the treks, the walks. And then on top of that, you have a fantastic nightlife, which is just embedded in Killarney people, is our culture, which is our music, our singing and dancing. So when they're coming to Killarney, you can definitely have the dancing shoes ready, have a raincoat as well, just in case. But you can definitely, from the minute you get up, you're going to be active to the minute you go to bed at night. With regards to the dancing, you can go to, most pubs will have music, and it'll be traditional music, and it won't be just like, it will be like the accordion, the fiddle, the flute, and the bodhrán. And it'll also, you'll have a few dancers perhaps in some bars as well. I know the Turk dancers perform in some of the bars. Again, we could be sitting down and having a gin and tonic, and next thing we might know the musicians, and we go, oh, sure, look, we do a few steps. It is that organic. Yeah. It really, really is. I had to give up bringing my dance shoes out, because I was sick and tired of getting asked to dance in every pub that I'd go into. So I'm like, sorry lads, I'm in heels now. I can't be doing a step for you. Not that that would stop them anyway, because they'd still want me. I've
seen you dance in your heels too.
Yeah.
It always comes out. It always comes out.
Yeah, it definitely does. But with like Killarney it's a very, very special place. Even if you're not like a lover of dance, or perhaps you haven't danced for many, many years, or you might even think you need to be somewhat semi-professional. Not at all. Like, what I do personally is I love to teach my culture, and the style that I do is sean-nós. And with sean-nós, it's just battering the floor, and it's just having fun and being free and not taking it too seriously. So you don't have, so in case you're worried that you have to be like semi-professional tap dancers or something, not at all.
No.
I give you one hint for those that are coming to Killarney. If you can hold a broom you're halfway there already. And I'll say no more.
Yeah. Amazing, because we are going to be doing a Shanos lesson with Anne-Marie. We're
Yes.
also going to be doing a bike riding tour through the national park in Killarney. So I love that you
Fab.
brought up the stunning scenery.
Stunning.
And what I love, what Anne-Marie, you know, when Anne-Marie and I first met, I was actually on a press trip with non-dancers. I was the only dancer, and you got everybody dancing. You got
everyone.
I think it was like 15 journalists and photographers.
Yeah.
And they were all dancing, and I loved it. And this is how we became friends, because I just fell in love with you and fell in love with the dance and the music and the place. Killarney is just such a special place. Ireland is such a special place. So last question. What can our travelers expect from your class in particular? Like, what is Shanos? Just to give an idea. And for those of you that are on here, you may have seen Anne-Marie in our episode. We talk about Shanos. I do a Shanos lesson. And let's remind them that it's a very condensed, it's for TV. So she always, gives me some challenging steps to do. It's not gonna zip by in 3 minutes. We're gonna have a full class.
No.
It's gonna be fun. Yeah. So tell them what they can expect a little bit.
So what they can expect is, number one, not to be nervous. Like, even if you have not danced in years, or you're even not a dancer, Shanos is for everybody. If you can walk, you can dance. That's my motto. If you can walk, you can dance. So I give you an example for the workshop. So it'll be me personally teaching the workshop. So I'll be going at a pace that everybody is well able. So if I have advanced, intermediate, or complete beginners, it doesn't matter. You're going to get definitely something out of the workshop. It's just nice and easy. It's relaxed. It's like really, really free. Like, Shanos is not strict and rigid like Irish step dancing. It's very much you on your own. You don't need a partner. It's just dancing to the music, having fun along the way. So I promise it's not going to be difficult. And I did give a hint. If you can hold a broom, then you're halfway there.
Then we're good.
If you can hold a broom, trust me, you're halfway there. So it's for all levels. And when I'm doing workshops and with my own school of dancing, there's always going to be people that at different levels. And what I try to include in when I'm teaching is that dance is for everyone, no matter age, disability, anything. Dance is for everyone. So don't fret, and you don't need tattoos. Just come with yourself, and you'll be great.
I love it. I love it. This is again why I love you. Why I love introducing you to our fans, to our travelers, to people to come dance with you, because Anne-Marie is genuinely, she has open arms. You feel you are in good hands with Anne-Marie, and it is just so much fun. And on top of an amazing workshop we're going to do with Anne-Marie, she's going to join us for our final dinner.
I'm definitely not letting you go without me.
No.
Definitely showing you Killarney, and definitely showing you authentically. Like, I'm like I said, I don't want the glitz and the glam. Like, what you see is what you'll get, and it's going to be amazing. And it's just, you know what it is? It's just going to be natural.
I love it.
Just natural. It's like we go for dinner, and it's just friends sitting around having a conversation. That's kind of what I want to bring when I meet people. I don't want to be false. I don't want to have this, let's put it on for the tourists. No. Authentic, bit of crack, not the drug. Crack means fun. And I promise to speak slowly.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, crack dog is cool. And I'll try and speak slowly, because I know I'm from Kerry, so it's like, but it'll be fine.
We love it. We love it. Anne-Marie, thank you so much for sharing.
I can't wait to see you all in beautiful Killarney. Trust me, it's a trip of a lifetime. It's going to be amazing. And I'm personally going to make sure every single person has an absolute blast.
We love you, Anne-Marie. Thank you.
Love you.
I love her so much. She is amazing. That was before I got my hair cut, by the way. Anne-Marie is the best. If you are interested in finding out more about our trip, our Bare Feet tour to Ireland, go to travelbareFeet.com. We have another short interview with a wonderful award-winning chef, Chef Martin Beelan, who we will be meeting with in Dingle, Ireland. And again, it is very late in Ireland, so these are pre-recorded interviews, but we just want to share a lovely, lovely chat that we had with Chef Beelan. So here it is. Chef Martin Beelan, thank you so much for being on with me. I am so excited to introduce you to our potential travelers and to bring our travelers, our Bare Feet Tours travelers, to Dingle. Dingle is, I say this truthfully, and not because you're in Dingle right now, but Dingle is probably one of my favorite places in the world. In the world.
And mine, absolutely. I found that when I came here first, because I'd been traveling around as a traveling journeyman chef around the world, 40, 50 countries. And I came back, and everywhere in every country, I find this magic place, And it might be between two industrial towns, but it would just have the magic. Mm-hmm. And when I got back to Dingle, I was just trying to, this is it. This is the magic town.
It's beautiful.
Never left. 25 years ago, I was like,
25 years. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, 25 years.
This is why in our Bare Feet tour, I think we're spending 3 days in Dingle, 2.5 to 3 days, so that we can walk around. I want to give our travelers enough time to explore. But for everyone on here, tell them who you are. I mean, some of them have seen you in our episode. I got to do a walking tour with you, and we had a wonderful meal together. But tell them a little bit about your work, what you do, and of course, your amazing restaurant, The Global Village.
Thank you. Well, I have been a chef for 38 years. This is now 25 in Dingle. We're starting our 25th season in Dingle. We opened in 1997. Yeah, we're a small 42-seater restaurant, and our emphasis is on local, preferably organic, although we don't often use that term. We'll use chemical free or something. We don't get tied into it, but as much as possible, organic food. So yeah, I've been cooking for 38 years. It seems a long time now. I have a great team behind me. But as you said, Dingle is such a great place. We have beautiful, our fishing boats. It's a working fishing town. It's a tourist town, but it's a working fishing town. We got fishing boats just landing that fish in every day. Mm-hmm. We got beautiful hills all around us with the lamb grazing on it. I mean, you've seen it. It's just something. So when I got here first, I just looked and said, wow, this has got everything I need. It's just, well, it's a chef's dream. It's a chef's dream. Fantastic local food producers all around us. And that locavore movement that's been all over the world, it was just starting in the 90s, and I was very lucky to participate in it. I started the Dingle Food Festival then in 2007.
Wow.
And that took off.
Yeah, that was where I first experienced Dingle. I was on a trip in Ireland with a bunch of other journalists, and we were taken to the I think it was in 2013. Oh,
wow. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And it was the Dingle Food Festival, and it was phenomenal. And I thought, this is the most miraculous place. The food here is incredible. Brilliant. And I brought my husband back a few years later. I went back to film with you. I just can't stay away. And now we're going to bring our travelers there too, because it is really, really special. Not just food, music, dance, the culture, the community.
Yeah, totally. The language is alive. I love that. It's got pretty much everything, and tacking on a great food culture at the right time was just a natural. It just happened naturally. Everything does happen naturally. They're also extremely good with people. They've been dealing with people for a very long time. Tourism is natural to them. Mm-hmm. They don't. Like some place you go to and you see, they're forcing themselves here. They really don't want us. Whereas, Dingle just seems to be naturally able to absorb tourism in a very beautiful way. So yeah, we're very lucky in that respect.
Yeah. Yeah. So tell a little bit about what the food scene looks like in Dingle for everyone on here who may be considering wanting to jump on a tour, but it's just the idea of Dingle itself. You mentioned that there's everything's local, but what does that mean? What's happening?
Well, in our case, local is really local because on the peninsula there's quite a few producers. So I start with Dingle, then I go to Kerry, which is our county, and then Munster, and each of those, compared to the States, are very small areas. So within that, you can just pretty much get everything, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we really try to keep that ethos as much as possible, and then of course some national Irish goods, and even that's small. The definition of local can be up to 400 kilometers, but we're talking about probably within 50 to 60 kilometers most of our projects coming. It's brilliant. So there's some great producers. There's fishermen, fishing boats coming in, so we can just go down and catch the crab and catch the lobster. And Mark has a cookery school. We can take people over there, and they can do a catch and cook, so they can cook They can go out in the boat, catch the fish, and come back in and do the cooking school. We want to do that, you know. Beautiful bakers. You saw Bacchus Bakery, they're fantastic cheesemakers. Mark's a beautiful cheese shop. You've been to there. We have some microbreweries. We have a wonderful distillery. You know, this is in a very small town of 2,000 people now. There's probably 10,000 people. There's probably 10,000 people on average day in the summer, you know, but it absorbs it beautifully. There's 50 places to eat, you know, from all sorts of ranges to your counter fish and chips, right up to your high-end food dining, which is really well done in a very natural way as well. So beautiful places like Out of the Blue and the Chart House and Doyle's, and they're doing incredible fish dishes. You've got Solas Tapas doing incredible Irish tapas. He's on fire at the minute, you know. Then we've got this COVID introduced backyard kind of a feel that people are out of food trucks and that's introduced a whole new dimension to it as well, you know. So but the thing is, it's quality all the way along. Right down, if you're just grabbing a fish and chips, the fish box have their own boat. They're literally catching their own fish, you know. So right the way through, I shouldn't name anybody in case you don't name them all, but you know what I mean. It's right the way through. Yeah, people are just doing an amazing job, incredible job. And when we did go ahead.
No, go ahead.
So when we organized the food festival, we brought all these people together, and we run a taste trail at the food festival. There was 82 different people partaking, and that could be a shop or a art gallery, and they were tasting oysters, and it's just, that's a beautiful thing. So that's not happening every day. That's a food festival thing. But my tour would be a microcosm of that. So you go to different places, maybe where you might not expect to taste food, but we'll taste food there, you know. And we'll bring, rather than put everybody in the bus and go everywhere, we might do a little bit of that, but for the most part we'll be able to walk. It's a very small town, and stop and maybe have a little cheese and beer pairing, or we might go into the distillery. That's a bit of a walk, but we might walk it depending on the day. And beautiful whiskey tasting, freshly made there, like made on site, is just fantastic. Go down to the boats and get some fish and bring them back up to the restaurant, and we'll cook some mussels and oysters. There's lots of things we can do. That's just a little taster. There's loads more to come.
I cannot wait. And this is what I love about this, Chef Beelan, is our walking food tour with you is going to be one of the first experiences that we do when we get to Dingle. Because what I want our travelers to see, is to meet you, because you're so passionate about food. You're so passionate about what you do. You're so passionate about Dingle and promoting the food scene and the food scene, local food scene anyway. But what we're really going to get is a local view and taste of the town. And then for the remaining time where our travelers can go explore on their own, they'll have an idea of where they want to go, or where they might want to revisit, or something that they missed. And this is why I think it's so important that you're like our guiding light at the very beginning.
Absolutely.
And then we get to finish our day. I mean, we're going to have a little time because I'm sure we're going to be tasting a lot of food, but we will get to eat in your renowned Global Village restaurant. It's an award-winning restaurant.
Fantastic.
I have to say, my husband and I went to your restaurant before I even knew you, before I knew anything, because we would always ask locals wherever we went in the pubs, anyone who was from Dingle, where should we eat? Where should we eat? And they're like, Global Village, Global Village. So we went. And then when we were preparing to film when we filmed together, we were working with the local tourism offices and trying to figure out the storyline, and people were recommending you. And then when I walked into the restaurant, I said, I know I've eaten here before, because, years later. And I was like, that was one of the best meals I've had in Ireland. And it still is. It's just fantastic. And
That's great.
You can taste the passion that you have for your food and for your work in everything that you do. It was really wonderful.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Yeah. For our meal that evening, I'll hope to include some of the things we've seen on our way around as well. And like that, like you say, as we are walking around, if people like to see a clothing shop or whatever, and we can point out all the different places that if they get a bit of free time later, they can go do the shopping. It's just such a beautiful feel to the town. I love it. I absolutely love it.
I keep telling my husband we're gonna retire in Dingle, or at least get a house there that we can go back.
Go to sometimes. Yeah.
It's just absolutely so beautiful. So beautiful. Well, Chef Beelan, thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
Will see you in Ireland. We will see you in Dingle.
Not long now. We can do it. We're almost through. We're almost through now. We get through this next few months. This will be a strange kind of a summer, I know, but for next year we'll really be back to Hopefully, we'll be back to our normal welcoming town and be looking forward to bringing in international visitors.
Thank
Can't
you so
wait.
much again. Thank you. So you can see why I just love these wonderful people that I want to introduce to you personally on our trip. Chef Martin Beelan is so passionate about his food. He's so kind, and we are going to have so much fun with him. And like I said, it'll be our jumping off point. So you will get a beautiful introduction to this lovely town. And we have quite a bit of time there to enjoy it, to go hiking, to go eat more, to drink more, to dance, to make music. And we're going to talk now more about the itinerary in detail. I'm going to bring on Jennifer McPherson. Jennifer, are you there?
I am. Hi.
Hello.
It's so great to be here. Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much, everyone on here. Jennifer is our AAA travel specialist who you can call. I'm going to put her number right up here. If you're interested in booking our Bare Feet tour, you can call her directly and ask any questions. But we're going to talk a little bit because I first want to talk about why we're partnering with AAA Exclusive Vacations. It is such a renowned brand and a trusted name. And when I first met with you guys, it was a no-brainer. It was like, yes, this is everything we want in a Bare Feet tour. It's the small group. It's curated. It's also trusted. I trust you. Our travelers trust you. It's something that I am really proud of bringing to the table, of partnering with you guys and having such a unique experience in travel itself.
It is. It's terrific. We're so excited to partner with you. AAA has been around for over 100 years now. So you know that you have the confidence of of amazing companies standing behind. But again, we're so excited to partner with you on these amazing trips that you've put together. There's so many wonderful experiences that you'll have that you won't find anywhere else. That coupled with traveling with you, having that wonderful advantage on a small group basis, it couldn't be better. We're super thrilled, very excited. We're seeing a huge trend. People are really starting to focus on 2022. 21 ended up being, a little not as wonderful as we had hoped, but we are definitely seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. And everybody, a phone is off the hook with AAA right now. And all the travel agents, people are really wanting to get that trip of a lifetime on the books. They're so excited to travel. We're all so tired of being cooped up that people are wanting to take that huge bucket list trip, which to me is this trip.
Yeah, it really is. And what I like, let's talk about some of the highlights from the trip. So we've introduced Chef Martin Beelan. So we are going to do a walking food tour with him in Dingle. And we are also giving travelers a little more time to breathe. That's sort of like 3/4 of the way through the trip is Dingle. And it's this time to really, it's such a stunning natural beauty. There's an opportunity to go hiking, opportunities to just sort of wander around this lovely little town, the seaside town, the cliffs there. I mean, it's just, if you want to go somewhere to be rejuvenated by nature, this is the place. This is the place.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely. And that's the beauty of this tour. We are doing things on a group basis, but there is a fair amount of free time. So you are able to explore all of these wonderful places, have some of your own experiences as well as with the group, making those lifelong friends, and having that terrific immersive experience. But all of the places between Dublin, which is a magical and wonderful city on its own, we'll be doing a literary pub crawl there. So that's going to be very exciting for people. Really, really jump into the nightlife of Dublin. Of course, all of the trad sessions we'll be doing, the meals we'll be sharing, the dance lessons we have, the bike tour in Killarney National Park, visiting the Cliffs of Moher. It's so many different things. And then to top it off with the walking tour with Chef Beelan, having that wonderful personalized menu that will be done just for this group at his restaurant one evening, and the private dance lessons. You're coupling everything with music, food, dance, and just the wonderful people of Ireland all together.
Yeah. And for everyone on here, I personally have curated this trip So I have picked every single person that we are meeting with, every single person that we are dancing with, every single place that we are going to. These are all of my personal friends that I've made from traveling to Ireland over 7 times and dancing with all of these folks. These relationships have grown over the years, and I wouldn't feel comfortable introducing you to someone else because I trust these wonderful people so much, and they have welcomed me with open arms. And another thing is, I have so much fun. I wanted to bring all of you on this experience of what I got to experience in Ireland and kind of condense it into the best of all my trips, of where I want to go, what we want to do, who we want to see. Jennifer, can you talk a little bit about the AAA Travels reputation? Because what does it mean when a traveler is going to book through AAA?
Well, it means that we are with you every step of the way. So I myself, am actually making all of the reservations for this particular group. I will be your right-hand person. So I'm here for every aspect of the trip itself. The tour, if you're looking to do maybe a few pre-nights in Dublin, I'll help you out with your airfare. With, we offer excellent insurance. Just knowing that you have the AAA name and it's not a small, maybe mom and pop, or you're booking on the internet, you're always going to have someone. If you have any concerns throughout this whole process, we're here for you. So again, just knowing that you're going with such a strong company, we are so dedicated to our members as well as our travelers. And again, we're just here every step of the way. So just know and feel confident that you have the backing of AAA.
Yeah, and especially after what happened with travel in the past year.
Absolutely.
It's always such a relief to know that you have someone who you can pick up the phone and call. God forbid something happens on the trip or things change. You are talking to a real person. It's not trying to go on a website and change the itinerary, or this is you. When you pick up the phone and call this number, Jennifer is going to answer.
Right, exactly. And we did hear some stories with the pandemic and some pretty unfortunate stories, but know that we are here for you 100%. And again, I will be handling all of your reservations from start to finish. So you don't need to worry about getting that other person and explaining your situation or, any things. I'm going to get to know each and individual traveler on a personal basis as an agent, as well as a confidant and friend that you can come to if you have questions, concerns, anytime. I'm always open. I'm always available.
I love that. I love that. Thank you, Jennifer. Now, for everyone on here, we have a few minutes left. I'm going to bring back Allison from Tourism Ireland and Michael from AAA Exclusive Vacations. If any of you, welcome back, everybody.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah. So if anybody has any questions at all on this live, please type it in the chat. We have some wonderful comments. Yes, Stacy, this is such an incredible trip. We hope you can join us. I'm excited to go back and do this over and over and over again because I just love it so much. And Stephanie, this is amazing. I've always wanted to go to Ireland. You should come. You can visit your friend, but you can also make new friends with us on our trip, the wonderful people that we're going to be dancing with. And Eric, yes, this is going to be really fun. So if anyone has any questions regarding the trip at all, please let us know. We have a few minutes left. But if there's anything else anyone wants to add while we're getting questions that are rolling in, please feel free to add. Michael, Allison, Jennifer, if there's anything you wanted to say.
Yeah, just one quick thing. I know that you had mentioned just now something about, bring your friends with you, make some new friends with us. I think I've been in the group travel world for almost my entire travel career. And one of the things that I've always found is, one of the things that I love is you bring your old friends with you and you make so many new friends along the way. And seeing travel groups, I know you used to do this before in the past, Mickela, and I know you're kind of restarting it back up with us here at AAA, and we're so excited to be doing that. But as travel groups start to grow, I always love to see the people coming back together from the beginning with the new friends that they've made right from the start, traveling to different destinations and all over the world. And you couldn't have picked a better place. I mean, Ireland is just known for they're kind people and the friendly atmosphere that it's just so easy for people in a pub to share a pint of Guinness together and create those new friends on a trip to Ireland. I'm so excited to see not only the new friendships that blossom, but all the new friends that people are going to be bringing with them. I'm really excited about this trip for sure.
I think you guys should all come on this trip. I think.
I agree.
And Stacy says, I have my tap shoes ready. That's great, girl. Come on and dance with us. Come on and
But that's
dance
also
with us.
something, you know, you mentioned before also, it is important to know you don't have to be an expert dancer. You know, that's so much of the fun of this is that you don't, and to learn, you know, these amazing dances, but have all of these other amazing experiences together. So you don't have to be an expert. Everybody's asked me that wants to book, do I have to be a dancer? No, you don't. So
yeah, that's
don't
something
be afraid
definitely
to-
to remember. Yeah.
As Anne-Marie said, if you can walk, you can dance, right? I have to believe that.
If you can move any part of your body, you're dancing. I love
And
it.
if you can master that broom dance, you're a local, okay? So you
Yeah.
leave it.
So we have a wonderful question from Stacy. She says, what's the weather like in May versus October? Allison, do you want to answer that? Because
Sure. Well, listen, it can be as good as May. I mean, obviously May it tends to be a little warmer and the days are probably a little longer as you move towards Midsummer's Day. So, you know, certainly as you go to middle of June, it doesn't get dark until 11 o'clock at night. But October can be beautiful too, very temperate. So it's still a good time of the year to go. But we don't have extreme temperatures in Ireland. And I think that's you know, people often say, when is the rainy season? We don't have a rainy season. It can rain, you know, at any time. But I mean, as I said before, you can have all 4 seasons in one day. So I always say, you know, bring dressing layers, and then you can peel them off and you can put them back on again. So it's still a good time. Yeah, it's a great time.
October, last time I went was October, and it was stunning. It was stunning. It almost felt like an Indian summer here in the States. And May, same thing. It really, it could be, if we get a week of good, you know, of no rain, it can be absolutely stunning. So May, that's why we chose those dates, not just because they're shoulder season in general for flights, but because May and October are beautiful months to go, usually less crowded. We hope, I mean, I'm assuming, who knows post-COVID, because I feel like everyone's going to want to travel and they don't care when they're going to go. But October and May are wonderful times. So thank you for that question, Stacy. We have another question from Jamie. Hi, Jamie. Thanks for joining us. What do you think travel will look like regarding masks and such?
Well, I think, you know, like anywhere, I mean, Ireland has taken a very cautious approach to handling COVID, and I think that has served us well. The hospitality sector, like here in the US, I mean, they've obviously taken strict sort of protocols to heart. We have social distancing, and people have been wearing masks. But I think as people get vaccinated and the vaccination program is really ramping up, you know, you'll see some of those masks probably disappearing. But at the moment, I think, you know, people will continue to wear masks, certainly in some indoor locations on public transportation. But I think you'll see the behaviors being, you know, very similar to what we're seeing in, you know, parts of the US as that vaccination program continues to ramp up. We do a lot of research, and I think what people are concerned about now is when they travel, as we're all fully vaccinated, I think we're less concerned about catching COVID or the health issues. We're more concerned about what the experience is going to be like. Is it going to be as great as it was beforehand? And I think the answer to that is absolutely. I think it's going to be even better. So again, people will have to sort of manage their own risk. But I think as confidence builds again, you will see things beginning to return to normal. But rest assured, COVID safety charters and protocols are all in place, and businesses have invested heavily in that. So you will be safe, you will be secure, but it won't be at the expense. We want, as somebody said, sanitize the buildings, but don't sanitize the experience. You know, sanitize.
Yes.
I think that's a great way of looking at it. You know, I heard that just recently. It will still be a fantastic experience.
And
I'm stealing that.
Yeah, I love that. That's beautifully said. So true. And what Chef Beelan said, from COVID, there has been some new initiatives that they want to keep, like here in New York, where we have outdoor dining and all these sort of kiosks. Same at Dingle, he was saying food trucks. Yeah.
What you're seeing in Ireland is a lot more, obviously, outdoor dining options right now. It is all outdoor dining, and indoor dining will return in a couple of weeks, well, in the middle of July. But you're seeing streets being pedestrianized. You're seeing sort of that European piazza look. Government has given financial assistance to businesses to build really nice open spaces, and I think they will stay. So that creates again another very attractive kind of social environment for people to enjoy. So wherever you go, I think you're going to see that stick.
Yeah, I think everyone's loving it. They are really, really loving the outdoor space, fresh air, spending a little more time. La dolce vita, no matter where you are, right? Just enjoy it in the piazza, right? Well,
Even if
I think we're at a
even if sometimes you wear a jacket, but you know what? It's all about being outside, and there's no better place to enjoy the fresh air than in Ireland. You've got lots of space, and if you want to be with people, you can. But if you want your own space and you want to just stand somewhere in Killarney National Park or out on the cliffs of Moher, you can do it.
Love it. Well, thank you, everyone. I think we're out of time. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Thank you, everyone who joined us live. If you have any questions, you can find us at travelbarefeet.com. The itinerary is up there. You can also, of course, pick up the phone and call Jennifer. She's right here. There she is. She's right here. And she'll answer all of your questions, help with booking. But we have two trips open, one this coming May in 2022 and next October 2022. But again, as Allison said, Ireland is opening up this July. We are so excited. And we hope to see you on this tour. I'll be dancing with you. It's going to be so fun. And again, it's limited to 15 people max. We do that so that you all get such a curated, beautiful, authentic experience that can only happen in a small group setting. So, and it's safe and it's really one-on-one, and you really get to know all of the wonderful people that we're going to see in Ireland. So thank you so much again, everyone. And thank you, all of you, Michael, Allison, Jennifer. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Thanks so much.
Everyone.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.